Okay, I promise this will be the last section. Um, so anyway, the um, the album is that I yeah um, Britney Spears, Me Against the Music, um, featuring Madonna, which I thought was interesting. Um, it's a double album, um, and from the looks of it, I pulled one of them out, and yeah, big shock. It looked like it had never been played. Yeah, I know, shocking. Anyway, um, because of the oddity of it, I mean, Britney, this format, I don't think it doesn't suit her. It's kind of strange. But anyway, yeah, so I picked it up. I think I paid like $6 for it. Yeah. It still had the shrink wrap on it. Um, and so I just, so I paid like, it's double, so I paid $3 per album, and I mean, yeah, I know what most of you are probably gonna say, but I mean, yeah, I just had to because it would piss a lot of people off, which is something I love to do, and I don't apologize for that. So yeah, anyway, um, and I had an idea. My brain started to rattle a little bit, and I got a thought to maybe, um, have a debate of um, Britney versus Christina. I don't. Well, I basically already posed the question. If you feel like answering it, um, be my guest. Um, you know, I listened to both of them actually, and this was like it lasted for about a year or so, and that was right before I got into metal. I was like 11, 12. No, I was 12, and then I found metal, and everything changed. I still kept all of those CDs. I think I had like three of them between the two. Um, and I just, I was more into Britney, but I liked Christina at the time. But I probably haven't heard those albums in 10 years. And the last time I heard the song was I used Genie in a Bottle uh, for a high school project, and I did a video that made fun of her. That I now I don't know. I probably could not put it up because I basically, you know, yeah, I went overboard with it. Um, but yeah. Anyway, um, okay. I also picked up a couple of CDs. Oh, um, yeah, Salt is the Swing, the very best of Dire Straits. That's the album that I was trying to get out. Um, I'm a little tired right now. But yeah, if you guys are interested, Dire Straits, it's cool rock. I like it, but this would be, you got one album to get. This would be the one I would say. I mean, it's got everything. Um, Songs to Swing, Romeo and Juliet, Eternal Love, Money for Nothing, yeah, and some live cuts on them as well. Okay. Uh, Now these things, some of these I may have shown before, but I forget, and I just felt like showing them anyway because I it's um okay. Yeah, I may have shown them. I don't know. I'm forgetting right now. Um, Original copy of Blizzard of Oz. So if I showed these, I apologize. Um, Osmosis. Picked this up for $5 at Best Buy in a treasure bin, and didn't have it, so I wanted it. And I mean, for $5, you can't really go wrong with Ozzy. Um, Ozfest 01 compilation. Um, again, $5. No Rest for the Wicked. I got an interesting story with this album that's tied to an ex-girlfriend of mine. Won't go into it, but yeah, um, yeah. I mean, so this album has good and negatives tied to it for me, but it's Ozzy, so yeah. Um, haven't decided if I'm gonna do a vinyl purchase with this, um, but it is a great album. Okay, moving on to some stuff that I picked up, and I'll wrap this up within the next couple of minutes. Um, if there's anybody else still watching. Um, okay. Um, picked up another Midnight Oil, Earth and Sun and Moon, um, to add to that collection. Um, okay, here's one band I haven't talked about, um, which I think is, it's a crime in my opinion. Um, Suicidal Tendencies. This is their first album. Um, I love Suicidal Tendencies. Suicidal is just, it's awesome. Their um, second album, I picked up their greatest hits. I think last year. I think because I mean I was watching I was watching music videos on YouTube. You know I made a habit out of it because I until I could find stuff. Because at that time it wasn't I couldn't really do eBay because I didn't have the money. Um, and I was trying to build up my Slayer collection because at that time I didn't even have I had like maybe three vinyl pieces and I had like five of their albums, so I was trying to build up my Slayer album collection. Um, but finally picked this up. Yeah, awesome. Um, it's got Institutionalized on it, which is probably their most recognizable song. Um, it's also got I Saw Your Mommy, which it's absolutely hilarious. One of my favorites. Um, so yeah, definitely cool. Um, and here's an album that begs a Metal Classics video, which I will be doing. Had plans to do before my account was shut down, so it'll be done. Um, there, that's better. Exodus, Bonded by Blood. Um, I've had this probably. I've had the original vinyl for about a year or so. Um, finally picked it up on CD, which was long overdue. Um, because this album, is awesome thrash. And if I had my way, I would have instead of the big four, I'd have the big six, and I would include Exodus and I would include Testament in there. But I mean, there's so many great thrash bands that you could do. You could do a big four, and then you could do another big four because you've got Exodus, Testament, Overkill, Creator. I mean, you could also you got Sepultura that you could throw in. You know, Destruction from Germany. And you could go on and on and on. There's so many great thrash, and then with the new stuff, you got Warbringer, you got Lazarus A.D. There's so much great stuff. But yeah, so this is yeah. Anyway, getting back to this awesome album, and yeah, definitely pick it up if you don't have it and you're into thrash. You need it. Um, yeah. So sorry I've gone a little over from what I wanted to do. I'm really kind of tired, so I'm just rambling, and I apologize to everybody. I had a really long weekend, um, but I was able to do some record shopping, so that was really cool. And that, um, it kind of shifted my mindset because it was a interesting weekend. Um, all right. Thanks everybody who's still watching. If you'd like to answer that question or add to it, um, feel free. If there's anything else, um, questions, comments, anything about what you've seen here or would like to see from me, I'm gonna. By the time that this is up, these series of 3 videos, I'm gonna have another Aussie and I'm gonna have another Slayer video up, and I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna try to space everything out. So yeah, question, comment, you know, I like this, I don't like this, if you feel inclined, you know, I love feedback. Um, all right, thanks everybody for watching. Peace.